Hey you, yeah, you. You know what you're good at? You're really good at asking questions. Yes, you guys have been amazing at asking me questions. You know, like in particular, I published the Amazfit BIP video about a few weeks back, and I've been inundated with questions and comments and suggestions and all kinds of good things and trolls as well. But you guys have been awesome, and thank you for taking the time to write. And so today I'm gonna go through a quick question and answer session to I'll pick the top 10 questions. How about that? I'm not gonna do 9, I'm not gonna do 11 or 12. So if you're stuck on those numbers, suck it up, because I'm doing 10. I didn't go through them particularly in my video first time around because I wanted to keep it simple and keep it straightforward and not compare it with other watches or other systems. But hopefully we can go through them today, okay? But before we do that, let's kick the intro. All right, let's get to the questions, shall we? Number 1, does the Amazfit BIP work with an iPhone? Yes. With the OEM app as well as the third-party app that I mentioned, there is the iOS version of it. So yes, it does work with it. So happy joy for the Apple users. Question 2. Wait, 2. You know what I realized the other day? This is up yours. And this is peace and 2. But in case you do this in public, it's actually up yours. But anyways, so number 2, how is battery life? Battery life, especially, I got this question a lot, is how is battery life if you turn on continuous heart rate monitoring? I'm like, to that question, I'm like, what's wrong with you? Why do you have to obsessively track your heart rate at all times? Do you have a weird palpatory heartbeat issue? I think you should be in a hospital if that's the case. I'm not sure why you need it continuously. You can do it at intervals. The Notify and Fitness for Amazfit BIP app can do that at intervals or continuously, but I recommend you do it on intervals because your battery is going to be sapped. I can give you a rough estimate. So like if I do a 1 hour session of GPS and heart rate monitoring, tracking my height, for example, and doing that continuously, a 1 hour session would drain about 3%, which is pretty good. But if you're asking for longevity over the week, I say you can say goodbye to your battery and you'll be charging it by midweek if you're doing it all the time. So no, it's not that great battery life wise if you're heart rate monitoring on at all times. All right, let's have another question. Compatibility, yes, that's for my invisible assistant right there. Compatibility with your third-party tracking software or services like Google Fit, Strava, or Endomondo. That name always trips me up. I want to say Endomondo or Engadget or something like that, but Endomondo. The only exception is Endomondo. It doesn't track anything. And to be able to link up with your Google Fit and Strava and MyFitness accounts, you need Notify and Fitness for Amazfit BIP app, the third-party app that I was mentioning in the video, to link your tracking every day to those services, and they work fine. They work really great, simple, and there's no problems there. Next, there was some concern shown about the charging pins of the watch. If you noticed in the video that I showed in the back, there are 2 charging pins. When you charge the phone, 2 charging pins, and some people have talked about other watches with the same charging pins having corrosion issues from sweat and oxidation and so forth. I work out all the time, you know, as you can tell, and yes, that was bad. I work out all the time. I sweat 2-3 hours every day. I have not had any issues with oxidation or anything like that. So, and then showering with it and soap and all that, I have not seen anything cropped up yet. I don't see any buildup around the rings, even like from grime, and that could potentially start any kind of rust or oxidation or whatever. So I think we're good there. The build quality is spot on so far, and this is my unit. So, and I've not seen any other things that are red flags on the forums anywhere. So I think we're good there. So question 5, is this accurate or not? Now this is an age-long question about all kinds of things we own. Is this heart rate monitor great? Does the tracking work well to capture the right amount of steps? I say it's not perfect. If you compare this with a Fitbit or you compare this with some other brand, it's not going to match up. This is not a hospital or professional grade oximeter, for example, for a heart rate monitor. It's not going to compare up to there, but what it does keep is a pretty accurate recording of, say, my number of steps or whatever like that. And from day to day, it's pretty consistent. If I do one certain specific activity, it is consistent. My sleep, I know based on my readings day to day, I can vaguely gauge what I'm doing wrong or doing right. I don't need an accurate number to compare it with, say, what the general populace is or anything like that. I use the phone and its average data, say over a week, over a month, and then I work within that confines of data. So I hope you understand that this is an accurate watch, just like any other watch out there, but it is not precise. There are two separate things, and remember that. So another comment that has come up quite a bit is something along the lines of, "Hey man, it's not $60, it's like $100 on Amazon, so why do you keep saying it's like 60? Are you like lying to us, or you're making something up in your head? Or is it because it's like YouTube and you can say whatever you want, freedom of speech, and only YouTube can shut you down?" Well, I say, if you shop smart, you can definitely get it for less than $60. I got mine for less than $60 at GearBest, and it was ship free. And I mean, granted, it was way over in China and it took like 2 to 3 weeks to get here, but hey, I got it. And so you can get it at gearbest.com, and another place you can get it, someone said, was at banggood.com. I have no idea why they named that. I mean, they need to change that name, for crying out loud. It sounds like a sex toy site. Yeah, Banggood. Oh boy. But anyways, shop there and you'll be surprised by prices. They go on discounts from time to time, like wait till Christmas time. Oh boy, the prices are gonna drop. So shop smart, you'll find them. Question 7, you guys ask, does this have a speaker? No, the BIP does not have one, and I think it is better off without it. Because 2 reasons. If it had one, water resistance will be shot. Number 2, the speakers would just sound pathetic and tinny. Imagine that, it would just cheapen the device. I mean, right now it has cachet because it does all things right for a budget, but imagine if you had a really pathetic high-pitched speaker, it would just make it laughable and a joke, okay? So I'm glad it doesn't have one. Now, the next question is a harder one to answer because it applies in general to all watches with heart rate monitors built in. So the question is, does a heart rate monitor on the BIP work with dark skin? Yes, that's a legit question for you white folk who have no idea what I'm talking about. It is a bane for some people with darker complexion to use watches with heart rate monitors because it just cannot read it. For some reason, the sensor does not penetrate the skin. I think it might be the wavelength of the sensor. It might just be how it's designed or how big it is or whatever it is, that it cannot read your pulse, the blood flow through the veins properly because of refraction or whatever reason. So for the BIP though, I can say that the sensor is bigger, it is better, and the algorithm is much improved. So I don't know how to answer this without really field testing it. Some of you who have it and have dark skin can probably chime in later on in the comments. So there you have it. Sorry, this is, I guess, a non-answer, but I'm addressing it. So okay, second last question. We're on the home stretch, guys, so thanks for sitting through this one. What is sync like? How stable is the sync? How reliable is the sync? And how good is it? And I have to say that it is freaking awesome. This thing sticks in the background. I run on Android Oreo, and its battery drain is almost nil. Its pairing with the phone and my watch is always consistent. It never crashes on the phone side, and the battery drain is awesome. One thing I really appreciate too in terms of syncing is, like say when I change time zones when I'm flying on a plane, or example, and I reach a new time zone, when the phone powers on or it refreshes its own time immediately, even though the app is sitting in the background, I look down at my watch, it updates the time automatically. So that's awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it. It's cool. I can't stop saying it because that was a cool thing when I looked down at my watch, like what? So the last question is fitness tracking related, and is totally appropriate because this is what this watch is made for anyway. So the question is, does it swim well? Yeah. Can you swim with it? How does it track swimming? And so I've mentioned this a couple of times in the video a little bit, but let me say this again. The swimming tracking this is not what this watch is made for. It doesn't have a function in here to track your hand strokes and your kicks and all that and your laps. But I mean, it does track your arm strokes, you know, in a sense, like you're walking or running, but it doesn't do true swim tracking, if that answers your question. Can you swim in it? Oh, heck yeah. You can swim in a pool, go down, you know, to 3, 4, 5 meters. You're totally fine. Don't go diving in it. Don't go into salt water, because any kind of electronics like this, you just shouldn't bring in salt water in the first place. But fresh water, totally fine. You can swim in it. And funny thing is, in a shower, I've used this in a shower and activated the buttons. And I know you're not supposed to, but you know, like I said, this watch is expendable, and I'm doing this for you guys and as an experiment, and you know, trying to see if my watch breaks or anything. So I've activated the buttons many times, like press it in the shower and see if there's any water ingress. So far, no issues, you know. So as long as you're not doing it submerged with your hand in the sink or whatever under a pool of water, you're fine. But in splashes of rain or shower and you're activating it, it looks like it can handle it. It just won't get in. Well, that's it, guys. That was all the questions. There was just as many questions as an Inquisition, but this was fun to do. I mean, it's just answering questions that you guys ask, and I hope you guys got something out of it and it helped you some. And if you have more questions, feel free to comment down below. Thumbs up if you like this video. Remember to subscribe, please. You guys have been rocking it, I have to say. The last time I talked to you guys, it was hovering, what was it, 100 something, whatever. It's almost 300 now, guys. It blows my mind. And the number of likes I get, the number of subscriptions and comments I get, oh man, it makes me a proud daddy. You know, this baby is growing and I love it. So thank you for being that participatory. Sorry, I just had fries, so my mouth is all like kind of oily and sticky. But thank you for being awesome, and I'm glad that you're here. And thanks for joining me. So thumbs up if you like it. Thumbs down. Thumbs down if you're the kind of person that calls a quadcopter a drone. You know what I'm talking about. I think it's all of you. You know it's called a quadcopter, right? Check out the definition of what a drone is in the first place and who started the drone thing business first. Ask the military. Those Raptors that they fly around, and they're automated mostly. They can go from a drone by definition is something that flies by itself autonomously from one destination A to destination B. You don't need to remote control it or anything like that. So that is called an RC. The ones with this remote control, guys. Go to any remote control club and look at their competitions and look at their banners and look at their flyers. You'll never see drones in it. You'll see quadcopters or quadricopters. Public service announcement. So thumbs down to you guys who say that. Drones and quadcopters. I'm just setting the record straight. This had to be done. I know I'm gonna draw ire from everybody, but I'm a pedant and I'm proud of it. Dang it. And it's quadcopter from now on. So there you have it. Whatever. Have a good day, guys. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me. It's a nice, simple video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. So I'll see you next time. Peace out.